Yo, what is up guys, Sakari here, back again with another banger of a video for Wuthering Waves. It has been a hot minute, I know, but listen, we're back, we're better than ever, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about version 1.1 for Wuthering Waves, Thaw of Eons. This version is bringing a ton of new content to the game. I'm talking a brand new region, 2 brand new 5-star characters, a brand new cost 4 echo. There is so much to talk about here, so we're gonna get right into it. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about is the new map, Mount Firmament. So you can actually see this really cool dragon thing that's sticking up in the sky already from the Wuthering Waves map. It should be in the southeast corner. If you look way off in the distance, you'll see its head like sticking out of the clouds. Like it's one of the tallest structures in all of Wuthering, so you have to get really high to be able to see the head on top of the clouds. But this region seems to be a icy region, very snowy, winter themed, and honestly I'm really down for it. I really enjoy, and honestly the more that I look at this image, it would be really cool if somehow, some way there was a cavern that led through the dragon's head, and when you got to the end of the cavern you were like sitting inside of its mouth and there's like a really nice like treasure chest, or maybe even like 3 treasure chests up there. I don't know, that's something I think would be really cool. So next let's talk about the Resonators who are coming to version 1.1 for Wuthering Waves. First up we have Jinsei. She is a broad blade user. She uses the Spectro element, so if you are trying to go for an all Spectro element team, now you can use one. You have Jinsei, Spectro Rover, and Verena.
Boom, baby!
Perfect. And personally, while it is awesome that we're getting to have the Magistrate of Jinzhou as a playable character, I'm personally more excited for her right-hand lady. I am talking, of course, about Changli.
You're beautiful!
I have been so excited for this character since I first saw her. She is gorgeous. I love her aesthetic so much. I think that she is one of the most badass looking characters in this game, and I am going to be completely honest with you all. As a free-to-play player, I am hard skipping Jinsei for Changli. I'm sorry, I have to. I only have like 5,000 gems. I went too hard on Yinlin's banner. I got her weapon, I got Yinlin, thank God. I won my 50-50. I took my victory and I'm running with it. I'm not going all in on Jinsei, and I'm not gonna lose a 50-50 like that. That's crazy. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about the new cost for Echo that is coming to the 1.1 patch. Jue. So you may recognize Jue as the dragon from the trailer that was dropped to show off version 1.1 and Jinsei, Changli, the new region, and just, you know, hype building for the next patch coming out, right? So why do I want to talk about this so bad? The reason why is because there is something that I've been using in Wuthering Waves that has been absolutely massive and monumental to my success as a player, and that's my Echo setup. So a lot of people are running 1 cost 4, 2 cost 3s, and then 2 cost 1 echoes. But what I've been doing is I run 2 cost 4s and 3 cost 1s. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because when you run 2 cost 4s, you can get away with having double crit rate, double crit damage, a mix of crit rate and crit damage, or whatever main stat that you want on your cost 4 echo. You can effectively double that stat by running 2 cost 4s and then just filling the rest of your slots with cost 1s. So I've been having a lot of fun with this playstyle on Yinlin and Calcharo. More so with Yinlin because thankfully since I got her weapon, she has like a ridiculously high crit rate of 88%, so she's critting all day, every day for her. And honestly, I would highly recommend trying to get a Morning IX, the Overlord cost 4 that is also of the Celestial Light with crit rate, so that way when 1.1 comes out, when you go get Jue, you can run them both together on Jinsei. That is of course if you're pulling for her. If you're like me and you're skipping Jinsei for Changli, you're running into the problem of we only have 1 cost 4 echo for Changli, and that's Inferno Rider. Now, yes, you can get away with running 2 Inferno Riders, and that's perfectly fine to just get the crit rate. But if you're trying to maximize the stat bonuses by also having the bonus where you run 5 different echoes that are all the same element type to get extra bonus damage, so I personally really hope that we get another Molten Rift echo that is cost 4, so that way we can throw that on Changli and use that for a echo build for her. Now up next, let's talk about the weapons coming for the new limited resonators for Wuthering Waves. Jinsei's limited weapon is the Ages of Harvest, a 5-star broad blade that specializes with crit rate. So it's already amazing that we're getting a new 5-star broad blade weapon that specializes in crit rate, but one thing that I'm noticing immediately that I have just the biggest question about is this first line for the Age of Harvest's description for its skill. Gain 12% additional damage bonus for all attributes. Now, the reason why this is rubbing me weirdly, pause, is because of the fact that it says immediately after that, the wielder is bestowed with divine blessings. Now, what's weird to me here is, why would they say gain 12% additional damage bonus for all attributes, and then everywhere else in the description they would talk about specifically the wielder? So my question here is, are we getting a 12% additional damage boost for every character who deals any kind of damage if you use this weapon? If so, that's absolutely insane, but take that with a grain of salt. That's just the way I'm not interpreting it, but just wondering if that's what they actually mean by it. But regardless, for the skill, the wielder is also bestowed with divine blessings and gains 1 stack of Blessing of Ages for each basic attack strike for up to 4 stacks, which is then removed when the wielder leaves the field. At 4 stacks of Blessing of Ages or more, the wielder consumes all stacks of Blessing of Ages when casting the next resonant skill, with its damage increased by 48% for 2.5 seconds. This can be triggered 1 time every 6 seconds. So from the way that it sounds like, Jinsei seems to be a character where we're going to be spamming her resonant skill constantly, because it seems as if the fact that you can trigger this 1 time every 6 seconds and you can increase your damage by 48% for about 2.5 seconds, it seems like they want you to be able to spam this often, especially considering that you only have to get 1 full basic attack combo off to be able to get full stacks of this. So a very interesting broadblade weapon, very strong. I might have to pull this for Calcharo, I'm not even gonna lie. And then moving on to Changli's sword, Blazing Brilliance, a attack percentage sword. So Blazing Brilliance's description for its skill: increases crit rate by 12%, already an amazing start. Upon dealing damage, increases Searing Feather by 1 stack, gain 1 stack every 0.5 seconds. When resonant skill is released, increase Searing Feather by an additional 5 stacks. Each stack of Searing Feather increases your resonant skill damage bonus by 4%, stacking up to 14 times. After reaching 14 stacks of Searing Feather, all stacks will reset within 10 seconds. Now, again, going back to the whole point of I only have like 5,000 gems for this whole patch. I would love this sword, it is aesthetically gorgeous, but as a free-to-play player, I haven't actually used my level 45 kit for the free 5-star weapon, like the standard banner weapon, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I really think I'm going to use Emerald of Genesis on Changli. I mean, it's a crit rate 5-star sword, it increases energy, and it also increases your attack when you use your resonant skill. Sure, it might not be as strong, but it's definitely going to at the very least get the job done. And considering the thing that I'm aiming for more than anything with these builds is crit rate, because in my mind, crit rate will always be more important than crit damage, because consistency will always be what actually gets the job done. There's no point in running a 60 or 50, even a 75% crit rate if you are having so much inconsistent damage to the point to where it's like, why are you even running a crit build at all? So just from my perspective, that's just how I feel about it. I'm a full supporter of anyone playing however they feel that they want to play. But me personally, I have the most amount of fun doing crit builds, so that's just what I personally am going to do. And hopefully you were luckier than I was. Maybe you got all the characters that you wanted early and you have a huge surplus of gems, so you can just go absolutely bananas on Jinsei and Changli's banners and also their weapon banners. So if you are that person, good luck and pull a dupe for me, please. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about before ending things off. It seems as if Kuro Games is giving us another massive appreciation bonus by dropping 10 Lustrous Tides, 10 Forging Tides, and 10 Radiant Tides in our mailbox. So all you have to do to get these is just simply hit Union level 8, which is pretty much when your mailbox opens up, which makes sense because that's how you're going to be getting these in the first place in game. So on July 4th, we get the 10 Radiant Tide, which is what we're going to be using to pull for Jinsei and Changli respectively. On July 6th, we're getting 10 Forging Tide, which we can use for Jinsei and Changli's weapon banners respectively. And then on July 10th, we get 10 Lustrous Tides, which we can use for the standard banner or standard weapon banner, or you could just stack them, entirely up to you. Now, would I say take this with a grain of salt? Personally, no. Kuro Games has been ridiculously generous to all of us since this game has launched, and they are really trying their hardest to listen to every single one of us and take as much feedback as they possibly can and really make this the best game that they possibly can. So I have faith in Kuro. I think that they're going to deliver, and this really is just a matter of letting them cook. But that's going to be the video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you tuning in. If everyone could please subscribe, that would be absolutely massive. It helps the channel grow, and I really do want to do big things with this channel, so any bit of help is absolutely massive. Leave a like, leave a comment, anything that you can. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Take care.